And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Wednesday. It's October 13th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company. Our guest host today, David Hale.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome into Coleman and Company. This is the 286th day of 2021. And as I said yesterday, the year's been flying by. It's been a great year, though. And speaking of a great year, you can't have a better year than to have Bob McDonald from Cedarstone Bank on the phone. Good morning, Bob.
David, good morning. Great to be with you. And I heard you yesterday as you were guest hosting, and as always, you did a great job. And I'm looking forward to being with you today. Of course, we always miss Coleman, but it's always good to be with you and on the radio on Wednesday mornings whenever that time comes.
Well, you know, it's not Coleman, but I try to keep the ship in the channel and keep it headed down the way. So hopefully we're doing that, and that Coleman's not too worried about us.
Well, all y'all do a great job. I know when Coleman's been on special assignment, I've had you, I've had Jeff Dixon, I've had Judge Tatum. I think I've had Mark Hinesley a time or two, and all of you do a fine job. So it's good to be with you. And hey, I thought what we'd talk about this morning for my few minutes is an event that is, I know, near and dear to you and me, and it's coming up next Tuesday evening from 5 until 8, and it's called An Evening with Phil Ponder. And I know we're a sponsor, y'all are a sponsor, there's a handful of other sponsors, and we're really looking forward to this. It's a time for us to come together as a community and recognize and celebrate Phil Ponder for his great work that he's done for so many years.
Yeah, he's such a talented artist, but he is also an extremely interesting person to talk to, and has a lot of knowledge of the Middle Tennessee area, and particularly Nashville and its history and its architecture and that kind of thing. I'm really looking forward to it personally because I think it's going to be a great event.
Well, it will be. I was thankful when Gail Hibbard and Sue Venatti came to see me about our being the presenting sponsor, because the Ponder family and the McDonald family go back as far as I can remember, and my father Willie and Phil go back a very long way. So our families were brought together a long time ago, and we all kind of grew up in that Donaldson Hermitage area. And Phil's had a fascinating life. I mean, he was an executive with UNESCO for many years, and had been messing around with his painting, and never really took it very seriously until in the late 70s. His wife Doc told him that he's got a real talent, and you need to develop that and give it more of your time and more of your attention, which you did. And I remember his first piece of work was doing what was called Market Street at the time in downtown Nashville, which is now 2nd Avenue. And it was an immediate hit, David. I mean, it was an immediate hit, got all kinds of recognition and acclaim. And from there, he just started focusing on other pieces of historic architecture and buildings in downtown Nashville. And David, it's gone around. He's gone around the country. He's gone around the world, capturing some of the most iconic buildings with his eyes and with his hands. And he's ours. I mean, he's our treasure, and he belongs to us, and we belong to him. And he's very excited. Susan and I were with Mr. Ponder last night at a dinner at the Hermitage, and we got to visit with him, and he's so excited about this. And tickets are still available, and you can get a hard copy ticket. You can come in any of the Cedarstone Bank offices in Donaldson, Mount Juliet, or Lebanon. You can go to the Expo Center, the Farm Bureau Expo Center. Gail has hard tickets there. Or you can go online and you can purchase a ticket via the QR code. So there's all different ways to get tickets, and we encourage your listeners who who are a fan of Phil Ponder. They're only $25, David, $25 a ticket. And all the proceeds go to, I believe it's 4 different local charities that are near and dear to you and me, as well as Nashville. And so it's going to be a great event. We're looking forward to it, and I know you are as well.
Well, and you know, it's not often that you get to just sit down one-on-one with someone with the talent of Phil Ponder, and I know Phil Ponder and have worked with him at other events and so forth, and he is very much a gentleman, and very much is interested in talking to everybody that's there, and I know that he will take the time to visit, and if you have questions about his art and his vision of things, that he's glad to answer those.
He loves that. He's such a down-to-earth man, and he loves the community, and he's very active in all of the chambers in the area. And I mentioned to him that we're going to be talking about this event tomorrow at the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce monthly luncheon. He said he's going to be there because he's always there. I'll see him next week at the Donaldson-Hermsey Chamber of Commerce luncheon. I'm sorry, I think that's tomorrow, and the Mount Juliet Chamber is next week. So, but it's just he's just a special guy, and we're looking forward to him being recognized and appreciated. And I appreciate, David, you and your company being a part of this and being a sponsor.
Absolutely. We look forward to it. Bob McDonald, I'm going to steal your tagline a little bit. This event is simply making life better, right, in Wilson County.
Hey, thanks. Can I take that and run with it?
Absolutely, you can. I'll donate that to you.
Okay. All right.
Bob McDonald, Cedar Stone Bank, thank you for being with us this morning. And the event he's talking about, an evening with Phil Ponder, it's going to happen over at the Farm Bureau Expo Center. Stop by Cedar Stone Bank and get a ticket. It's going to be a great event. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, David. Have a great day.
You too. All right. With me on the first half this morning, I have no stranger to the radio, and that's Rusty Richardson. Good morning, Rusty, from Cumberland University, right?
Good morning, David. Pleasure to be here.
And you have brought a special guest with you. And let's see if I can figure out how to cut. There we go. Now, I didn't push enough buttons.
All right.
You brought a special guest with you this morning. I'll let you introduce him.
All right. Thank you. Well, it is my pleasure to introduce our Vice President for Enrollment Services at Cumberland. He is a first-time attendee on the radio show here, so you need to be easy on him.
I'll try to take
no hardball questions or anything, like Coleman does sometimes. So, but I'm pleased to introduce Mr. Reggie Blair. And Reggie joined Cumberland earlier this year. And I'll let him tell you a bit more about himself.
Well, good morning, Reggie. It's good to have you here on Coleman and Company, and we hope that as the years go along, you'll be a regular face here at Coleman and Company.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. Good morning.
Let's find out a little bit where Reggie Blair came from and some about you as you joined the Cumberland team.
Yeah, absolutely. So before I came to Cumberland, I started Cumberland University right around August, so it's been about 2 months. But before that, prior to that, I worked at Lipscomb University, did various roles in enrollment, was promoted to director of admissions there, and served there for about 13 years. And so got a lot of enrollment experience, and very, very blessed to have the opportunity to be here at Cumberland.
It's in this day and time with the rise in online universities and those types of things, it's more challenging for universities to recruit students probably than ever before. And so how will you sort of meet those challenges as you go forward at Cumberland?
That's a great question. I think for me, there needs to be a big commitment to the student experience. And so anytime the student feels like the university is catering to them, understanding what they need, segmenting some things, and making sure that all the ideas, all the things that they want to do in their career, when they let us know that those things are addressed and that we care about the student, then they'll see the value in coming to an institution like Cumberland. And you also have to be flexible too, so while we prefer mostly an in-person method, we think that's probably one of the best methods. We do offer some online offerings as well, especially for our graduate programs. We have to be accessible for the students and what they need and their desires.
Well, and then the pandemic times, unfortunately, has forced us to not be together as much, and all types of education have had to adapt to that, and I hate to say the new world, but that's sort of a fact, right?
Absolutely. I think the pandemic was challenging for institutions everywhere, especially in Tennessee. And, I think Cumberland was very, very nimble in learning how to pivot and still doing what they could to support the students and providing them a quality education. And so I'm just happy to be a part of that. And from the enrollment standpoint, making sure, again, that we do what we can to improve our processes, to make it simple for students to understand how affordable Cumberland is, the things that we're trying to do to attract them and make their overall education experience top-notch.
We're going to pause for just a moment. The traffic's headed into Nashville, and we're going to find out all about it.
Thanks, David. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota. They have Red Max, complete inventory of weed eaters, blowers, hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner with up to a 4-year warranty. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We see this wreck being cleared on 40 westbound, just past Highway 70 out on the west side. Of course, the heaviest flow of traffic's coming the other way on 40 eastbound, coming in through Kingston Springs right now. Dixon County traffic leaving Dixon County, and Hickman County still positive at the moment. 65 is through Brentwood on the increase as well. Prince's Hot Chicken is now open inside the Assembly Food Hall near the National Museum of African American Music on Broadway. Order online at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tommy Bryan. Join me, Bob Lee, Terry Stafford, and Joe Gardner as we bring you Lebanon High football live every Friday night right here on WANT and WCOR throughout this 2021 season. The Blue Devils entertain the Gallatin Green Wave Friday, October 22nd. Don't forget Blue Devil football on WANT, WCOR Lebanon.
The Titans try to win a second consecutive AFC South Division title. Every snap
gives Henry around right end to the 5 to the end zone.
Every first down, every touchdown.
Touchdown Titans!
It's all heard here.
Brought to you by Vixen Hooker, Bates Ford, Steve Mall Plumbing, the Jewelers, and the City of Lebanon Gas in Tennessee. 811. Call before you dig.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
Hi, this is Rick Wittrig. Do you have projects that need painting? Well, why paint when the Powder Coat Art Company will beautifully powder coat your project with a tough, durable, baked-on finish? We have options for commercial, residential, automotive, off-road, and motorcycle parts. See us on Facebook or Instagram, or for a quote, go online at powdercoatart.com or come see us at 1746 Sparta Pike in Lebanon.
Fiddler's Grove in the James E. Ward Ag Center presents Ghosts in the Grove, October 15th and 16th, with tours starting at 7 p.m. Expect ghosts and ghouls, history with a ghostly twist, and folklore. The Tennessee Ghostbusters and Scufflemoss will be in attendance as well. Chili, hot dogs, and hot chocolate will be on sale in the general store. Admission is $10 for adults, $5 ages 6 through 16. For more information, call 615-547-6111.
Morning and welcome back in the first half of Coleman and Company this morning. Rusty Richardson from Cumberland University and Reggie Blair also from Cumberland, the new Vice President for Enrollment Services, are my guest on the first half this morning. And Reggie, I want to talk just a little bit about something that sometimes perplexes folks about the tuition and opportunities to get assistance with that. There are a lot of different programs out there to help young people and old alike, I suppose, go back to or go to college.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the most exciting things about Cumberland. Cumberland's really positioned itself with working with the state to make things affordable and to make things easy for students when they're considering going to college. And so there's various ways that students can come to college. I think one of the most significant and probably one of the most prominent that people hear a lot about is the Tennessee Promise. And so for high school students getting ready to graduate high school, if they do a couple of different incentives that are all outlined on the Tennessee Student Assistant Corporation website, or TSAC, if they apply for the Tennessee Promise in November, do a certain amount of service hours, do a certain amount of mandatory meetings. By the time they graduate, they can actually go to school for free if they're attending a TCAT institution or if they're attending an institution that offers associate's degrees. And so their first 2 years of college can actually be tuition free, and that's a wonderful opportunity for students. After they decide they want to finish, if they do go the Tennessee Promise route, one of the things that Cumberland has done is stepped up and said, hey, we want to help you if you want to finish and get a bachelor's degree. And I think that's it's not ideal for every single student, but for those students who want to finish a bachelor's degree, we want to be the institution that partners with them and help them do that. And so we put some things in place, particularly the Cumberland Promise or CU Promise, and also the Phoenix Promise. And those are ways that after students finish their 2 years of college, that they can go ahead and finish their bachelor's degree. And just to kind of clear up some confusion, the CU Promise is all based upon once they finish those 2 years, if they have a certain level of GPA, and we'll look at the GPA, they can qualify up to $16,000 to help them go to school and finish that bachelor's degree. And then the Phoenix Promise is really need-based. So it's looking at students once they file their FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. If they have an EFC or expected family contribution of less than $3,500 and meet some certain criteria relative to GPA like 2.75 or higher, then they have the opportunity to go ahead and finish their bachelor's degree tuition free. So those are really, really great opportunities for students. And then the last one I'll mention, which is a really important one, you mentioned some adult students. So let's say if you're an adult student and you started school, but you didn't finish school, you didn't get an associate's degree, or you didn't go to college right out of high school, you went and did something else, but you're a U.S. citizen, you're eligible to file a FAFSA, there might be some possibility for you to actually go back in the Tennessee Reconnect program to go back to school tuition free. That's another initiative that was pioneered by the state, the Tennessee Reconnect program. And at Cumberland, if you talk to one of our enrollment specialists, those are the people who help with the enrollment process. If you're trying to get some more understanding and some clarity on what it takes to go back to school, my team, my enrollment team, helps you figure those things out, help you know what you're eligible for, walk you through that process, and help you feel comfortable about all the affordable solutions we have at the university.
Well, and I think that the Tennessee Reconnect is a great program for folks, particularly it seems like to me a lot of folks in the 70s and 80s came out of high school and didn't exactly know what direction they wanted to go, what path and ended up in the workforce, and then and never got back out of that groove, so to speak. They stayed in the workforce and now are either headed toward retirement and thinking, what will I do with my retirement years, or they are looking at maybe new opportunities as the world becomes more technology driven, and it's an opportunity for them to look at re-educating.
Absolutely, and I think you should be a lifelong learner. So if there's an opportunity for you, no matter what stage of life you're in, and you didn't get an opportunity, or you just maybe had a different, maybe kind of unorthodox route as far as once you finish high school, during some times it probably wasn't the most beneficial thing for you to do, but now if it is, we want you to take advantage of that, especially if you qualify, and we're happy to help any students that have questions about that.
I'm going to throw it back over to you for a few minutes. Rusty, first is a big football win, right?
We had a great win this last Saturday against the University of the Cumberlands. It's always confusing when Cumberland plays the University of the Cumberlands.
Right.
The University of Cumberlands was ranked 21st and coming in as the heavy favorite, and our Cumberland University team just did a great defensive job on keeping them down. They've been scoring 56 points a game, I think I heard. and we held them to 10 points and won on a last-minute touchdown. So just a great victory, a great time for Cumberland football. We had lots of fans out there, but not just about football. Our soccer teams, both men's and women's, are doing great. They're having great seasons. Volleyball teams are doing well. Just everything's going full bore with Cumberland Athletics. And if anyone wants to check that schedule, it's on the Cumberland website. Just hit the athletics tab and you pull up every game, every schedule for every sport.
I've always loved coming up, sit in the bleachers and watch the baseball game at Cumberland. It's been one of my favorite things, afternoon pastimes for many years.
It's just, and so many people come out and support the teams, and we're always so appreciative of that when they come out and cheer in the stands and just support the teams. And then in just 2 weeks, we've got homecoming coming up on October 23rd. So we're gearing up for that. It's going to be a huge event.
Well, and you still have the Cordell Hall Peace Forum going on, and there's still some events to go in that forum as well.
Absolutely. It kicked off on October 1st when we had the statue unveiling and dedication, the statue of Cordell Hall. We were very pleased to have former Vice President Al Gore there. We had about 400 people that attended that event. It was a beautiful fall day on the Cumberland campus. And Al Gore did just a tremendous job, a terrific job. It was not a political speech at all. It was really a speech about the impact Cordell Hall had on his father, Al Gore Sr. He was actually the one that encouraged Al Gore Sr. to first run for Congress, and the lessons he learned, and just a great human interest story about the connection between those two families and the impact Cordell Hall had on not just Tennessee, but the United States and the whole world. So
yeah, the longest serving Secretary of State in history, right?
Longest serving Secretary of State, and the father of the United Nations, just so many accolades for him. And we think his Al Gore speech really hit home with our students that one man from a small town in Tennessee can literally change the world. So we have other events going on the rest of this month for that. We have a speaker coming in next Tuesday, the Honorable Ben Cantrell, talking about is there any good news, and that's part of the Cordell Hall Peace Forum. And then I'm especially excited on the 21st, having Colin McCann. And I know Dr. Sandy Gertz was on the show on Monday, talked a lot about that. Colin is an author. He's a National Book Award winner. And we're so pleased that he's agreed to come to campus to give a lecture on his most recent book called A Paragon. And it's the story of two men that were born natural enemies, so to speak. Both of them had daughters. One was Palestinian, one was Israeli. And they both encountered similar tragedies. They both lost their daughters at early ages due to the violence in the Middle East. But when they got together, they found out, and they shared each other's stories, they realized we're not as different as we thought. And they became fast friends. So part of what we're so excited about for that presentation on the 21st is Colin McCann will be there in person, but the Israeli and the Palestinian will be tied in through a Zoom call to participate in the meeting as well, or the presentation.
Well, and it's a huge opportunity for Cumberland students to actually be able to meet and talk one-on-one with the author of a book that they're studying.
Absolutely. In fact, he's going to give a couple of student presentations the day before and the day of the event. The presentation on the 21st is at 7 p.m. It is free and open to the public, so we want to encourage anyone that wants to come out and see this just inspiring story to come out and join us in Alumni Hall and just have a great chance to find out about the author and about the story of these two incredible men that became friends.
And I think, if memory serves me, from when Sandy was here, you go on Eventbrite and get a free ticket. It is free to come, but you can go on Eventbrite and reserve your seat for that event.
Yes, absolutely. It is free and open to the public, but we do encourage people to go on Eventbrite for that. because that will help us judge how many chairs to set up and things like that.
You've got some great sponsors helping with this whole month, and I want you to have an opportunity
we cannot thank them enough. Middle Tennessee Electric and the Tennessee Valley Authority are the sponsors for the Cardinal Hill Peace Forum all month, helping cover those expenses. Both their representatives spoke at the kickoff event, and really the impact Cardinal Hall had on their two institutions, Middle Tennessee Electric and the Tennessee Valley Authority. And they told the story about when Cardinal Hall brought FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Tennessee, to say, here's an opportunity. We can tame the Tennessee River and really provide a power source for this area of the country. That was, at that point, there weren't a lot of people with electricity.
Reggie, I want to give you an opportunity here because this type of event is what makes going to a university like Cumberland so valuable, isn't it?
Absolutely. And there's a lot of really exciting things happening at Cumberland. I feel like I came at the right time, and I'm excited about it. There's such a great energy. There's just a dedication to the community around here, dedication to really doing the best that we can to serve our students. And, you know, just to be quite frank, we have some of the best faculty ever. Just my interactions with them, they're dialed in, they're tuned in. They really want to give back, and they want to help provide quality education for all the students that choose to come to Cumberland. And, you know, I wouldn't be an enrollment guy if I didn't say, hey, if you're interested in coming to Cumberland, you can apply right now. I mean, the application is open. Go to cumberland.edu and check that out. And we're going to actually start doing our first wave of acceptances on November 1st. And so we'd love for you to go ahead and apply. We'll contact you. We'll reach back out to you. Anything that we can do to help you out if you want to be at Cumberland, please reach out to us.
And Rusty, there's always things going on at Cumberland for the public to get involved in, and I know you always try to encourage folks to come to the campus and participate with your neighbor, right?
Absolutely, we'd love to have them there.
Rusty Richardson from Cumberland University and Reggie Blair, the new Vice President of Enrollment Services for Cumberland. I appreciate both of you being here with me this morning on the first half of Coleman. Let's find out about those folks having to drive in traffic.
And thanks, David. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford. They've got $50 off, $250 repair offer to owners of 4 to 10-year-old Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury vehicles. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic still moving right now on 65. It's heavy here at Trinity Lane. Still moving also on I-40 in through Mount Juliet. All that traffic making your way past through Hermitage right now. It's picking up quite a bit, actually. 65 through Brentwood, 4300 block of Laverne, Couchville Pike, and Hermitage. They're talking about a crash there. That one has some injuries over at Kenwood at Forest View. Oktoberfest at Ober-Gatlinburg going on now through the end of the month. Check it out at obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Caring for a loved one is as natural as the weather. But just like the weather, one moment it's sunny, and the next, you find yourself in the middle of a storm. So when it came time to take care of my dad, I knew I needed help. A reprieve from the storm, so to speak. That's when I found the Pavilion Senior Living. They have expertise and experience to weather the storms in your loved one's life. And now, I can rest easy. Thank you, Pavilion Senior Living. You should visit thepavilionseniorliving.com to find out more.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
For 44 years, A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction has been the leader in residential real estate and auctions in Middle Tennessee. Did you know that we also have a team of agents that specialize in commercial real estate? No matter if it is a high-traffic spot or a quiet little corner, we have the local knowledge to deliver just what you are looking for. The A.G. & Johnson commercial team will know exactly what you need and will walk you through the development process. Our commercial agents know more. For commercial real estate done right, give us a call, 615-444-0909, or visit us online, agandjohnson.com.
Today's forecast calls for highs in the mid-80s with a mix of sun and clouds. Thursday's forecast will be very similar. We'll have partly cloudy skies with temperatures in the mid-80s. By Friday, showers and storms move in ahead of a cold front, which will cool off those temperatures by the weekend. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. Let's look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
Well, good morning. Welcome into the second half of Coleman and Company. And as always on Wednesday, the ever vigilant Philip Etherly here from Absolute Rental and Supply.
Morning.
Good morning. What are we going to talk about this morning?
Well, we've been talking about, we always have our seasonal items we like to talk about. And right now it's the aeration and overseeding of fescue. For a lot of time is the prime time for fescue to be doing. A lot of people have already got their aeration and overseeding done, but they've still got time. Technically, from UTA, they say from the middle of September till the end of October is prime seeding time for fescues. So we've got till the end of the month here to get it. We're having some unusual, seasonally warm weather right now. I understand some cool weather's coming in, but it's still a very hot item. Another item I've been very surprised about is we've got a lot of people pressure washing their driveways and putting sealer down, concrete sealer down before the winter. Normally, people think of that as a summer project, but there's a lot of that going on right now, and actually the temperatures are really good to do that right now. And so just if you've got any little projects you kind of want to get done before winter sets in, just give us a call. Our number is 443-RENT. And give us a call. We'll be glad to make a reservation for you and make sure you get what you need.
Well, if folks are going to aerate and those kind of things for the yard, you've got folks there, maybe give them a little advice on, at least on the operation of the equipment. They're not necessarily lawn experts, but they are experts in the operation of the equipment.
Exactly. We always want to make sure we go over all the equipment really well with people, make sure they know not only all the safety features on it, but how the best application. And the aeration is one of those deals where, there was times 3 weeks ago, we were telling people, hey, it is too dry to aerate. You're not going to get the depth, the core penetration that you want. And then, now it's prime time. We've got enough moisture in the ground. So we try to make sure that, everything's going to be good. Our number one goal is to make sure the customer gets their job accomplished in the most efficient way. And then we want to make sure our equipment doesn't get damaged in the process.
Well, and you've got equipment not only for the homeowner, but for the construction folks as well, and really a wide variety of equipment that makes it a lot easier on the construction and the homeowner. Instead of having to own an aerator, let's say, for instance, you can come down, get one from y'all with some advice on how to run it.
Exactly. There's so many items like that. Aerators are one of those items. They're real busy twice a year. The other months out of the year, they just sit there and collect dust type deal. But anyway, so there are a lot of advantages of renting things and not having to own that equipment. But like I said, we do have a wide range of equipment. And Coleman and I somehow have come up with this deal from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers. We have what you need, but we do really have a wide variety, and that makes it good for us too. Because when, say, general construction, if it ever slows down, then remodeling and homeowner renovations pick up. And so then, we have that lines of equipment as well. And so it kind of keeps us even throughout the year.
Philip Etherly from Absolute Rental and Supply, we appreciate you being here, appreciate your sponsorship. And somebody needs a little equipment, 615-443-RENT. They can find you, right?
That's it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Philip, for being here. I have with me Sarah Davenport from the Office of the County Mayor,
Good
Mayor
morning,
Hutto. And welcome this morning, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's talk a little bit, because we're sort of tag teaming this section of the show, right? And we have another guest that we'll introduce in a little bit. But You have some information about the Governor's Star, Volunteer Star Program.
Yes, sir. It is time again. I just wanted to take a minute to let everybody know that it is time for the annual Governor's Volunteer Stars Awards. County Mayor's Office is accepting those applications now through Friday, November the 5th. And this program is an initiative from Volunteer Tennessee that recognizes an outstanding volunteer in both a youth and an adult category. The state's had this program for around 13, 14 years now. This is probably the mayor's office 7th or 8th year involvement with it. And it's a great program. We really enjoy working on this project. It's a great way to let people in the community know what volunteer opportunities are out there and maybe help to meet some needs. No volunteer work is too big or too small. We've had winners in the past from Compassionate Hands, Drug Free Wilco, Homelessness Ministries, volunteers from the Angel Gown program, school volunteers, Rehab 23. We've even recognized entire groups before, such as Sherry's Run and Wilson 1. So again, no matter how big or small, if you got something good going on in the county, we want to hear about it and want to know about those volunteers. Youths are categorized as 25 and under, and then of course the adults would be anybody that's over 25. And you can get your applications on our website, wilsoncountytn.gov. If you just click on the Governor's Volunteer Stars Award tab on the right-hand side of the page, it takes you to an online application. We introduced that last year and had a lot of success with it. It was easy for people to do and to get it turned in. So able to do that again this year, and really want to thank our IT department and especially Mr. Aaron Wilson for getting that up and running for us. Of course, if you do have any trouble with the online system, call our office. I'll help you work through it. It's not a problem at all. As you're making these nominations, the form's very simple to fill out. It just asks for some contact information for both the nominee and the nominator, as well as some other basic contact information. But the heart of the application comes from the narrative. And this is the portion where your nominee really, really gets to shine. And this is where we find out a lot about what they do. So I like to encourage people, really spend some time on this part of the application and be sure to tell us what they do. Oftentimes we'll get things like, Susie and David are great volunteers. We couldn't do this work without them. They are an invaluable asset to us. And that's wonderful. And we have no doubt that that's the case. But if we have 4 applications that all say the same thing, it makes it very difficult to distinguish a winner. So really spend some time thinking about what it is they do and make sure you let us know what's going on there.
It's a real opportunity for organizations to let those unsung heroes
That's right.
sort of shine, and there are a lot of folks that volunteer out there that really don't want the recognition but really deserve it.
That's true.
And this is a way that that the folks that they help can give back to them for what they've done for that organization.
You saying that, David, I've actually had that happen where people will come to me and say, well, I want to nominate so-and-so for the award, but I know they don't want to be recognized. And a lot of people don't even know that they do this work and they want to keep it that way. And I completely understand that. But I do like to remind them that it's great to give these volunteers that recognition because, a lot of times people just need that extra boost and just for somebody to know, hey, they do see what I'm doing and I am appreciated. But also, with this program, I learn something new about our county every year. So I like to remind people that that's an opportunity to shed light on an organization that maybe needs more help, needs more volunteers, or to get the wheels turning for somebody else to say, hey, if this is available, I wonder what else is out there that I can do and really make a difference in our community.
Well, and it's an opportunity for that volunteer that they can use because so often someone's a volunteer with some organization and maybe people don't know that they help. Right. But once they find out, hey, so-and-so's involved with that event or that organization, then it must be a great place to be. And so it gives those volunteers, even the ones that don't want to be recognized sometimes, it gives them the opportunity to say, hey, yeah, I'm doing this and you should come help me.
That's right. Absolutely, to encourage others. So it's a great program. I can tell you that last year our committee had a very difficult time choosing a winner because they were all just outstanding applications. Everything that everyone was doing was just great work, and we really struggled with how do we choose who's the actual winner here. But that's one of the things that makes Wilson County special in this program. The state would just have us to choose an adult winner and a youth winner, and then they're recognized at the state level with a banquet and plaque. And of course, they've had to change that the past couple of years due to COVID. But in Wilson County, we do it a little different. We recognize everyone that's nominated. The winners, nominees, if we get an application from you, we're going to make sure people know what you're doing. So everyone gets a plaque, they get a story in the local papers, they get recognition on social media. So we really spend some time trying to make sure that every person is recognized for what they do.
Well, and in this day and time too, as it gets more and more difficult for organizations to find volunteers, I think that recognizing the ones that you have encourages them to stay.
Yes.
And then maybe, as we were just saying, it's an opportunity to recruit some more volunteers once people see, hey, Compassionate Hands or whomever it might be, what they're doing, that, and I want to be part of it.
That's right. That's right. So it's a great program. Really encourage everyone to hop online, take a few minutes, nominate someone. Again, everything is online, so it's very user-friendly, easy to do. If you have trouble with it or you don't remember the website, give us a call at 615-444-1383, and we'll walk you through it.
That's great. Sarah Davenport from Mayor Hutto's office. Let's find out about traffic, MJ.
Thanks, David. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota. They have Red Max complete inventory, weed eaters, blowers, hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner with up to a 4-year warranty. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still quite a bit of traffic volume on 65 southbound here at Trinity Lane. No surprise there. Traffic's building pretty good on 65 up through Brentwood, Franklin. 40 westbound off-ramp at White Bridge Pike. We saw them working a wreck there a few minutes ago. Still gathered up on the scene of that wreck. 4300 Laverne, Couchville Pike. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar is home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. You can check out all their flavors by logging on to GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Bob McDonald with Cedar Stone Bank. For 17 years now, we've been serving our communities in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Donaldson. We can serve you in the way that best fits your needs. We have all the banking technology, we have beautiful buildings, but more importantly, we have great people. On behalf of our board of directors, I thank you for banking with us. If you don't currently bank with us, please come by and visit us in any of our locations. It would be our pleasure to talk with you about how simple banking is simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, TP.
Yeah, JB?
You ready?
For Friday Night Lights, you better believe it. Join us on the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show every Friday night after the Lebanon High football game. We'll have all the scores for you and even post-game interviews with all of your Wilson County coaches.
Thank you to our sponsors, Designers Carpet, Fakes and Hooker, Lebanon Appliance, Palometto's Insurance, Sammy B's Restaurant, and Kenny Salas and the hometown team with Keller Williams Realty.
It's the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show with John Boyce and Trenton Perry, right here on WANT 98.9 FM.
This is Philip Etherly with Absolute Rental and Supply. Whether it's cleaning, painting, remodeling, or simply getting better organized, we have the tools and equipment to get the job done. Scaffolding, paint sprayers, ladders, power saws, portable heaters, temporary lighting, generators, hardwood floor staplers, from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers, Absolute Rental has what you need. Call 615-443-RENT. Absolute Rental and Supply. We have what you need.
Hi, everybody. This is Tommy Bryan, and along with my color commentator, Bob Lee, we'll be bringing you Cumberland University football right here on WANT and WCOR. Saturday, October 16, Cumberland travels to Campbellsville, Kentucky to take on the Tigers. Cumberland football right here on WANT and WCOR Lebanon.
Well, good morning. Welcome back in the second half of Coleman and Company on the 286th day of the year. I believe in the first half, when we were talking about the Evening with Phil Ponder event, we may have failed to give the date on that, and so I wanted to give a quick plug on that again. It is October the 26th, Tuesday, October the 26th from 5 to 8 over at the Farm Bureau Expo, and tickets are available at any Cedarstone Bank and at the Farm Bureau Expo. It's going to be a great evening with a very accomplished artist, Mr. Phil Ponder. All right. And we are talking about the Governor's Star Award Program with Sarah Davenport from Mayor Hutto's office. And speaking of great volunteer programs, I have with me Sheila Weathers from Compassionate Hands.
Thank you, David.
Don't you like the way I worked that right in?
I did, and you know, it was
Absolutely.
a divine appointment today that I'm right here with Sarah in the mayor's office.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about what Compassionate Hands does.
Well, Compassionate Hands started out in 2012 by a homeless person calling a church and needed somewhere to stay, and it was freezing temperatures. And some churches got together and started opening their doors to the unhoused in Wilson County and keeping them overnight during the winter. It has now evolved to more than that. We are still shelter for the unhoused in the winter. From December 1 to March 15th is our shelter season. And we now have our own building. And so now we are carrying out our 5-year strategic plan. We have programs right now in place. We are giving more resources to our unhoused. They can come to us for all kinds of services and support. And it has just grown, and our 5-year strategic plan has been done in 2 years because of COVID.
Well, and there are so many misconceptions about the homeless out there, and I think programs like Compassionate Hands are helping to break some of those barriers and really get the true picture of homelessness, and really in some ways the homeless population really is sort of new to the Wilson County area as compared to some other states and parts of the country, isn't it?
It is, but yet it's not. I mean, I think that people were just not aware until volunteers came together. And I might say this, one of the key volunteers back then in 2012, I believe, was Mayor Hutto. He helped spearhead getting the churches together and what are we going to do about this situation. And, you know, people are still saying, you mean there's homeless people in Wilson County? Yes, there are. There's many. And they are now finding our place as a safe place. We had a man this week himself say, I just needed to get here today because you're my safe place.
So, some of those homeless folks have some level of mental health issues and often are very suspicious, if you will, of help. Mm-hmm. And so it's a real testament to y'all that you've been able to break through that with a lot of them. And I know from my experience when I was part of the court system that sometimes those folks are like, no, I'm not going to go over there because somebody will steal my things or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think that in the last several years, I've seen that sort of change, that group of people have become more comfortable, for lack of a better word, with y'all's program.
Yes, and a lot of them look out for themselves as well. When they walk away from a camp, they're high risk of everything getting stolen and being gone when they walk back. So I think a lot of them support each other, and then they come to us for more support. We're so excited that we now have classes and to improve job skills and learn about budgeting, as well as finding additional resources within Wilson County. To date, we have 9 classes with 32 people total in attendance, and we have several more classes lined up for the fall. We are working to become a hub of resources to help our guests access our assistance and services, such as clothing, food pantry, veterans benefits, and more. And we actually received a wonderful gift this year. We received a THDA CARES Act grant. What that grant is helping us do is the people that are behind on their rent, or they're close to being evicted, or they have been evicted, that money, and because of COVID, and this is all because of COVID, we can use that money to help them get back on their feet and pay their rent and get them back into housing.
Are there volunteer opportunities that could you use more help?
Oh, we could. I'll tell you, I came here from another organization in Nashville, and I have never seen the volunteers like I see in Wilson County. The churches, like I said back in 2012, that was all volunteer that got it started. It was all volunteer until John Grant stepped out in faith and became the executive director, and it became a 501c3 in 2018. And now, 3 full-time staff. We have 4 caseworkers. Because of the THDA grant, we have 4 caseworkers. I'm the fundraiser. I'm trying to figure out how to fundraise the money to keep those caseworkers when the grant is over with June 2022, because we see now how vital those caseworkers are. But without volunteers, we could not do this. We have over 40 churches that are involved with Compassionate Hands.
I know that you have, speaking of fundraising, you have a fundraising event.
That just came in real good, didn't it? Yes, we have one of our largest fundraisers this Saturday. It's our 4th annual chili cook-off. This fundraiser has in the past just been for our volunteers and the community, or how we can get it out. This year, Wilson Bank and Trust came to us and said, we would like you to do your chili cook-off at our Oktoberfest. It will be great exposure, and it's going to be. So Saturday during the Oktoberfest, 11 to 2 is our activity, our chili cook-off contest. There'll be judges there. We will have about 15 people bringing their prize-winning chili. Wendy's is donating some chili to us, and we'll have door prizes. And so from 11 to 2 on the West Lawn is when our activities are happening. And we would love to have people come out. I'll still take chili contestants. I want more famous chili to be involved. So 11 to 2 on Saturday on the West Lawn is where you'll find us, with many volunteers.
So if you've got an award-winning chili, if all of your family says, this is great chili, you need to make up a batch and bring it up and see how it stacks up against the other.
Yes, and contact me. You can do that at 615-784-3356. You can contact me, and I will get you enrolled.
Let me ask you, if with the holidays, seasons not far away, if a group wants to sponsor like a meal at the facility, are there opportunities for groups to say bring in maybe a Thanksgiving meal or a Christmas meal or something like that?
Well, in November, I have 2 tentatives. One is on the 24th and one is on the 29th of a group's bringing in possibly a Thanksgiving meal. One of those I can give up to somebody else. What we do is Mondays 4 to 7 and Wednesdays 11 to 2, we open our doors, we provide a hot meal, and our unhoused come and get showers and do their laundry and get loved on. They can get on computers and fill out applications for jobs or to get on housing list. We have our caseworkers that do that with them. So yes, we can get someone in that wants to do a Thanksgiving meal that last 2 weeks of November. What I will be doing as soon as Chili Cook-Off is over is I'll be taking people on our list, getting them on the calendar for meals every night, December 1 through March 15th.
Because that is a daunting challenge to make sure that the folks, and some nights you have a large contingency of folks there to get out of the cold, and the colder it gets, the more that show up.
We have a larger number of men, and those men will be staying at our new building. We bought this building because of COVID, because we saw that it was going to be very hard to have the church's support with the volunteers being over 55 and older with COVID. And so we bought this building for the men to stay in, and the women will be staying at 3 different places this year, this winter, and they'll be close by to the building. And but we have to feed them every night. We have breakfast every morning. We have stacked lunches when they leave. So we have groups signing up to be the hosts each night, to do the meals each night, to do the breakfast each day, and the sack lunches. And
Are there opportunities for families to stay together, so to speak?
To do the meals? No. We are not, we do not take in families. We can't do that. We have to have the men here, the women here, and at this time, no children.
Give a telephone number real quick that they can contact you for more information about Compassionate Hands.
615-784-3356.
Sarah Davenport, an example of those folks that the Governor's Volunteer Star Program are honoring, those folks helping Compassionate Hands and other volunteer groups just like them.
We were actually talking during the break. In 2019, our adult winner was Mr. Steve Wheely, who was nominated for a number of things, but Compassionate Hands being one of those.
And they can go on Wilson County, with county spelled all the way out, TN, wilsoncountytn.gov, and find the form to submit someone's name for the Governor's Volunteer Award Program.
That's right. It's an online application, very easy to fill out. Call me with questions.
Lots of great questions and lots of great answers this morning. We appreciate everyone listening in. Have a safe rest of the